Now let's say we have done with the development. Now we are going to debug. Let's say once it is completed, we are going to debug our issues, okay? Or let's say something is failing, then how we can check it, okay? So what are the different things available in Sailpoint? So we are going to see the tools which is available, debugging and troubleshooting the issue, or maybe a code checks, okay? So what are the so this is just an overview what we are going to do in this particular session. So what are the different factor in successful troubleshooting and resolution of the issue? Then tools, there are different tools available. So logging option and configuration. Then there is a console available, IIQ console, using which we can also debug the issue. And there is a debug page also. Okay. So let me start with the factors in successful troubleshooting. So first is detail oriented, means if a small inconsistency can often cause a large headache, right? So we know this famous quotes, right? So I thought I could just ignore. So while writing a code, if you see a small change, you need to do it. And if you say, no, I will do it later, then it might create a trouble for you, right? So when you write, just write a thing in proper way along with the comments. Okay. So if you write a comments there, then anyone, not you, but anyone can understand it and anyone can change it accordingly as per the comment if you have done some mistake. Okay. Along with that, definitely we need to create a documentation, okay, technical design documentation to follow the documentation steps. So that we need to understand, we need to check each and every requirement. We need to also prepare the technical design for that, so that in future also if any changes is required, you can go, you can read that document, you can understand the document, and also you can change it accordingly. Okay. Next is system familiarity. So knowing about the identity IQ is must. Okay, so we should know that this identity IQ, how it's behave, what are the different modules involved. Okay, and while writing a code, you can also use your basic knowledge of identity IQ. Okay, along with that, you can also debug. How I can debug? What are the different things available in Sailpoint to debug those issue? Okay, to determine the what is the cause of a issue. Okay, and most importantly, you need to spend a time on the product along with the training also. Okay, so you should get a different module training and then spend a time on the product, then only you will able to learn the product. Okay, so most importantly, the time spent is very much important on the product. Okay, next is methodical testing. So definitely, even in Java also you are doing the testing, right? Unit testing, then integration testing, then regression testing, and so on and so forth, right? So same thing, we need to do it in Sailpoint also. We need to test it at repeated time. Okay, so many times to get a successful guarantee while deploying the code in production. Okay, and while doing a testing, we need to change only one variable at a time, one by one. Okay, and then we will go and at last we will change all the attribute as per one need. But to test it, definitely we should start with a one by one, so that you can see the impact and the testing is smooth or not. Okay, so we will understand that. And last is a environment awareness. So definitely, while installing whatever the environment you have selected, that we need to keep in mind what are its limitations, what are its advantages, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when you see such error about the environmental, like JVM error, or maybe application server is running too slow, or maybe a database is not supported kind of thing, then definitely this will help us, okay, to identifying the issue very easily. Otherwise you will go and you will debug the issue, through the course, and you could not find anything, right? But you must aware of this thing, what is the application server, what is the database we have used, and what is its limitation, and so on and so forth. Okay, it is not it is not related to the identity IQ, but yes, we can face the issue with the environment and environmental stuff also. Okay, now next is logging. So next is how we can log the issues, or how we can debug it. Okay, so first is logging. So Sailpoint has provided a core investigation tool that is called logging. Okay, so even in Java also you are doing the same thing. Okay, so first is log4j file. You know about the log4j file. Well, we can go and we can debug our logs, right? So whatever the logs we want to write it in a file, we can write it. Next is standard output. So standard output is application server location where we can go and we can write it. Okay. Third is the email redirection. So definitely we can, so whatever the email we are sending to the user, we can redirect it to the our inbox or maybe some flat file, right? Even I did it. I did it. I redirected the email to the flat file, right? So to check it, what email exactly has been triggered to the users. Okay, so that we can do. Along with that, SailPoint internally provide the audit configuration. Okay, out of the box. Also we can customize it. So definitely there is a audit configuration available. We can go and we can log that audit. Okay, so we can see it. And last is sys logging configuration. Okay, so most of this you have already gone through it. Okay, so means I already shown you how exactly we can do it. So let me just go in a detail. So in a log4j configuration, okay, so log4j configuration, basically you know about this logging level, right? Off, then trace, debug, info, warn, error, and all, right? Something. So we have this level, same thing in a Java. We are doing in a Sailpoint also. Okay, so there is a configured file available log4j2. Okay, in the log4j2, we need to go and we need to enable this particular line along with the file path. Okay, if we write it, then we will get that. Okay, this is we are going to write a log with the debug level called error inside the file, and which file that we need to point out in some other configuration. Okay, so that we can do. And once, so where exactly this log4j2 is available? So it is under the webinf classes folder. Okay, identity IQ, webinf, and classes folder. There's a log4j2 file where we need to write this particular syntaxes. Okay, to get it. And once we write, just go here in the debug page, setting, logging, and reload the logging configuration. Okay, so let me just quickly show you where exactly the file is. So this is my Tomcat. Okay, inside the Tomcat in the WebEx folder, I have an identity IQ folder. Inside the identity IQ folder, I have a webinf folder, and inside the webinf folder, we have a classes. Okay, so this is my classes. Inside the classes, I have a log4j2 properties file. So this file needs to be configured according to our need. Okay, so let me just go at top. So this is a file. Some comments are written, what exactly this particular line indicates, and so on and so forth. So currently, this setting is for us console where we need to print out. Okay, and similarly this is for a file. So I did not redirected it to the file, but definitely if we want to redirect it to the file, we need to uncomment this line. Okay, let me just uncomment it. So this line indicates where exactly we are going to store, and so on and so forth. Along with that, here the path is given, okay, for the log file. So we need to give our path where exactly we want to store the log. Okay, and then sailpoint.log. Now once this is done, there is another syntax, this one. Okay, so here if you see, it's a one, so logging level is one, and currently the log will write in a std out, right? So if we want to change it to the file, then we need to comment this, and there is one more line available. See, you can read it also. Uncomment to also write the file appender by default. Okay, also need to uncomment the file appender definition above. So we need to uncomment it, this one. First line is saying that, another line is saying that we need to uncomment this four line which we have, file line which I did it. Okay, and then just save it. Once you save it, okay, once you save it, no need to restart the server again. We can go to the debug page. Okay, let me just go to the debug page. Once I will in a debug page, there is a setting available. Go to the logging. Okay, inside the logging we have this particular page available. Just click, see, if you see, all the path, particular folder name, file name path will be available here. Okay, C drive program files, Apache Tomcat, then web apps, identity IQ, web INF, and this log4j. So we just need to click on read or login. So once it is read out, whatever the changes we did it here, it will be appear here. Okay, now whatever you are performing when there is a warning or error available, okay, or fatal or off, okay, whatever is available from this three, it will be logged inside this particular file. So where is the file will be located here. Okay, it will go and it will log it here. So we can log these errors, we can see it. Okay, in testing we can, you can also put the trace where exactly it is failing or something, so you can change this log level to trace. Okay, and you can see it. Okay, so something like this we can uh, do it for logging the issue. Okay, now next is standard out logging. Okay, so this I already shown you where exactly we can do it. So we can write this is out statement, okay, in the rule or wherever we want. It will print in this particular console. Okay, so in Tomcat console, it will be printed. Okay, so even yesterday I did it, right? In the rule I added this is out statement. It will printed here. It was printed here. Okay, so same thing we can do it in live environment also, but not in production. Okay, till development we can do it, we can check it what exactly the issue is, why it is not going further, and so on and so forth. So to test it out we can use this sysout also. Okay, so this is not as useful as log4j2 since this message are always printed no matter what. So you know, whenever we are writing this sysout statement, it will always be printed, right, in Java also. But if you add a log and if you have a logging label, let's say we add a log.trace and our logging label to log it is error, right? Then that trace will not be printed. But here, if we write a sysout, it will definitely going to print. Okay, so we can do this particular sysout statement for a quick use. Okay, but quick and dirty debugging basically. So we can use for it quickly debug the issue. We can easily go and see it instead of going inside the file and see it, right? So we can do it. So that's what we can do for at sandbox level or maybe a development level. Okay, and configuration. So app server configuration determines where to send this information. So definitely wherever you have installed the Tomcat, then there is a console available. Inside the console you can see this particular thing. Okay, so that is one thing, standard out logging. Then let me just do a slide screen from here. Okay, and then email logging. So even I also shown you this kind of stuff, right? So if we want to, if we use email for testing purpose or debugging or troubleshooting, why it is not triggered, email is not triggered, what is the content of email, do I need to change it, if I am changing, then how it is printing in a email, right? So that we can do. So I already shown you, we can go to the setting and then global setting. Inside the global setting we have a mail setting. Okay, there we can redirect to file and we can give the file name. So you know, right, email I shown you in the file. So this is the way we can change it, our logging to the email logging. Okay, so we can, here we can debug the email kind of issues. Okay, next is auditing. So where exactly this auditing is. So I already shown you the audit about the email sent, but let me just go. So in the home screen or wherever you are, you will get this setting option. Go to the setting, then global setting is available. Okay, inside the global setting, if you want a global setting for audit configuration, then this is a tab available, audit configuration. Go it here. Okay, you can see the general actions. So by default these particular actions are provided by a Sailpoint. Okay, that you can log this, you can log a audit for this, you can log audit for this, and so on and so forth, right? So let's say someone is login. If we want to add that particular login edit, hey, this guy is login at this particular time, then we can enable this. If logout audit is also there, who has logged out to the system, we can also get that audit. Okay, login failure, if username and password is long and if you want to log a audit that someone is causing an issue, so we can log it. Okay, so these are the different available, different thing available. You might know almost all. What is session timeout, you know, import file, who has imported the file, and so on and so forth. Then run the task when you are running email send, email failure, delegation, certification item, all this you know, right? So if you want to enable this, we can go, we can read it, and we can click on this to enable it. Okay, so once you enable it, just go and save it. So this is my general configuration. Okay, sorry, I forgot next steps also. So we can enable it, disable it, whatever we want, because if you log all the audits which is unnecessary, then it will be overburden our server. Okay, so we need to identify for each specific client that which exactly the audit should be enabled. Okay, so that we need to find out and we need to just enable it here. Then we have identity IQ attribute change. So whenever there is a change in identity IQ attribute, if we want to enable, we can come here, we can enable it. Let's say assigned role. So if any assigned role is removed or assigned role is assigned to the user, we can enable this audit. Okay. When there is a change in capability, we can also show it. Something activation date is changed, then also we can enable the audit. Okay. So these are the attribute we can go, we can enable the audit. Okay. And we can see it. Similarly, next is a class. So this is related to the identity changes. This is related to the general action. Next is a class. So class is generally an object which is available in a Sailpoint. So let's say one of these applications. So if application is created, then enable the audit. If application is changed or updated, let's create a audit. If application is deleted from the system, let's create an audit. Okay. If I don't want, no, update is fine. Someone can go and update, but create and delete is required, then I can enable accordingly. Okay. So these are some different objects available: policy, object config, email template, capability, anything. If new is created, we can add it. If old is means removed, then we can also enable the audit. So this is a object creation within a Sailpoint. Okay. So if new capability is created, if new application is created, if new role is created, we can enable the audit accordingly. Okay. And last is a scheme resource action. So generally this is the same thing. If we are reading objects from the application and then storing under the users, so what new users is created, updated, something, right? So we can enable the audit accordingly. The task result what we are running is newly created. If that same task result is updated, deleted, read, something. Okay, so we can enable the audit. Now this is a global configuration where we can go and we can enable it. Now where exactly this audit will be displayed. So it will be displayed under this intelligence and advanced analytics. Okay, so in the advanced analytics we have audit here. Under the search tab we have a audit. Okay, so you can click it. Now you can also filter out the action. So see, this is the action: access request started. So who has raised the requests, kind of thing. Okay, email failure, email sent. So whatever the configuration we have done up till now, all will be displayed here. So currently we means this many audit has been logged. If more audits logged, then you will have a more number of you will have a more number of record here. Okay, so you can select. So let's say email sent, whom we have sent the email. I want to see the action. Okay, so we can see it. Okay, this particular email sent on January 12. Okay, 8:51 a.m. to Karan Shah. Okay, this is the email ID. So I can open it, I can see the logs. Okay, so this email has been sent on this time. Okay, who has sent request handler, so automatically it will send. From which host it is sent, and target name is Karan Shah, and value is this one. So means subject line basically. So what subject we have sent? New delegation request certified to submit this fund is something. Okay, so subject line will be there. Body will not be displayed here because body is different for each and every user, but subject line will be there, so you can identify, okay, with this subject line email has been sent. So if user comes to you that, hey, I did not get the notification, we can take this audit, we can send it. Hey boss, you can check this particular your mailbox at this particular time with this particular subject line. Okay, something. Okay, similarly, let me just show you some different audit is also means let's say access request started. Okay, let me just search. So if you see, I have raised two access requests on 15 January. So let me just go and open it. So you can see the access request is started on this particular date. Okay, the who has started, administrator has raised the request. Okay, then this is some client host, means basically my host and server host. So my laptop details are there. Then target. Okay, target means for whom it has triggered. So for John Tribute I have triggered. Okay, so for which application? So currently identity IQ, for identity IQ application I have triggered. For which account? Then it says that username or account name, basically Tribute J. Okay, then what is triggered. So for to assign this particular role to the attribute J, I raise the request. So my attribute name is assigned role and the attribute value is br Sailpoint. Okay. Now, if any different configuration are there, it will be always so flow is access request ID is this particular. We can go and we can check it, and operation is role add. So this particular role will be added to this particular attribute J in this request. So this has been started. So we can see all the audit, required audit, and so on and so forth here. Okay, you can go to the audit, you can search it, and you can see it. So audit also will be available with you. You can go and you can debug it. Okay, so this is just for a audit. Okay, and then let me just go to this syslog. So basically next is a syslog. So syslog I already shown you. Okay, so what you can see. So let's say I'm raising a request, and if I'm getting any error, okay, in the page, then it will say that the request has been means something. This is a violated and request ID is this. So we can come here again. Here we can go to this syslog instead of audit. We can go to this syslog. You can see it. Okay, incident code they have generated. You can search with it. So you will get the perfect incident code. But let me just run it. Okay, so you can run it and you can see. Okay, this is my last 19 at 19 January. This was generated. So what is an error message for this? So I can go and I can see it. Okay, so you can generate the message heartbeat workflow configuration from creation, check log manager name. So whatever you have done, so you can also log the message. So even previously we did it, right? Log.error. So it will not only log in the file, but it will also log under the syslog in UI. So you can come and you can check it here. Okay, so this is about the auditing syslog, and then console. Okay, so what is a console here? So console is a command line driven. So we can run the command in the query in the console. Console will all directly connect to the database. Okay, once it is connected to the database, it will give a detail to us. Okay, and we can have a quick glance, means basically we can see it. Okay, some commands are only available via console, so some of the command we cannot run it directly in UI, but definitely we can go through the command and we can run it. Okay, and we can test it. And yes, authentication required to access the console, so we can give a authentication username and password. Okay, so let me just show you the things. So let me just open the console. So to open the console, you know now, right? In the installation I have opened it multiple times. So where exactly we need to go? So in web-inf folder we have a bin folder. Okay, and this is the IIQ. So it will open the IIQ console. So let me just go to the command prompt at this location. Okay, so it will open the command prompt with that location. Now if I want to open the IIQ console, then I need to run this particular page. Okay, IIQ, and then I need to write a console. So once you write it, just enter it. So it will means give some details. Okay, and then hmm, here what exactly happened in production or maybe in lower environment. So currently if you see, I got directly right arrow, but I log in because the reason is in this particular file. Okay, web-inf class, and there is a identity IQ folder, sorry, identity IQ properties. I have given a username and password here, not here somewhere. So it will directly come and directly log in. See, this is a data source. I given the username and password here. Okay, so it will come and it will directly log in inside the system. Okay, so this will directly connect to the IIQ properties and it will check username and password. If it's fine, it will directly log in. Okay, now once it is login, here we can run the command in console. So let's say I want a list of application available in the system. So there is a list command. Let me just run the application. So list application you can do, you will get all the application which is available in Sailpoint. Okay, though our system is not up and running, if we want to debug it here, we can see it. Okay, so we can get it. So here, so some different commands are there, you can run it. So let's say list rule. So it will give me all the rules, list workflow case, or it will give me all the list of work item. It will give me. Okay. So you can whatever the object you can just write it here list rule. Okay. So it will give me all the rule which is available in a Sailpoint. So these are the rule available. Okay. Then you can do the list identity also. So it will give me all the identity which is available in the system. Okay. So this will give me a list. Okay. Now let me just see next one, that is count. So if I want count of a identity, so I can do just count and identity. So okay, just write it. It will say the count is 8. Okay, count is 8. Total 8 number of identities are there. If I want to count rule, let's say I can write rule. So 52 rules are there. Okay, so we can get the count detail here. Okay, next is get object. So definitely get rule and this. Okay, so get rule will go and will get that particular rule. So let me just go to the get rule, and in double quote we can write what is where is our rule. This is my rule. Okay, rule name. I'm just copying, pasting, and I'm running. So it will open the rule. Okay, you can see whatever you have entered or whatever you have written in the rule, that will be visible in this particular screen. Okay, so some commands are there. If you want to delete some of the identity, you can go and delete. Okay, you can go and delete the rule also. So let me just go. I want to delete the same rule. Okay, so I can go. I can type in here delete. Okay, and then rule in double quotes. You can give a name. Sorry, not this one. You can copy this. Okay, so it will go and it will deleting the rule. So it will delete the rule. Now previously the count is 51. Sorry, 52. Now it would be a 51. See, now you won't get if you run the get rule for this particular thing, then it will say an unknown object rule debug is not found. Okay, so we can do a multiple operation here. You can see those operations available and you can run it. Okay, so this will not connect to the Sailpoint UI. This will directly go and connect to the database, and from database it will find the data. Okay, now there is one more thing available, that is console for import and import and export. Okay, so what exactly this import and export? So whatever the thing available in your system, if you want to pull out as a XML format or as a file format, we can export it. Okay, and once it is exported, if you want to import the file again, you can run the import command. So even previously also, I have written import space init.xml while installing the Sailpoint identity IQ, right? So import means I have imported that init file. Also I have imported that init.xml init-lcm.xml file, right? So that is the import command which we can do, but also we can also export the things. Okay, so let me just run this command. So what exactly it will do, I will show you. So this is the syntax. Okay, if you want to do, so you can also do it. So here if you see what command I have run, export means you need to export something. Hyphen clean means, so there is a ID created and modified. These three things are particularly available for a specific environment. Okay, I cannot move my code which is in a sandbox with the means each and every object contains that ID. Okay, and the same ID means ID which is available in a sandbox, I cannot move it to the dev environment. Okay, because that ID might be used by some different object or might be some different cases, right? So it will create a conflict there. So before exporting from one environment and moving inside the another environment, we need to remove the ID created and modified. Okay, so to clean that out, we have a called hyphen available, hyphen clean. Okay, so export hyphen clean will remove that ID and all. And what we need to export, so we need to export application. Okay, where we need to export, then there is a application.xml available. Okay, file, it is not available, it will create this application.xml file with all the application detail. So if you go and see, let me just show you. If you go and see inside the webinf bin folder, here you can see this application.xml which is generated just now. Okay, you can open this, you can read it. Okay, so this is a Sailpoint application 1. Okay, so whatever the application names are available, it will be exported. HR system is exported. Then there is another application exported in this particular fashion with the Navision name. Okay, and so forth. Whatever the applications are there available, it all will be generated as written. So these are the application generated. Okay, now if you see in debug page and here, okay, let me just show you one of the application. So HR system, if you see here, there is no ID, there is no created in this particular line. Okay, while if you check sorry, here in application debug page, let me just go to the application. Let me just go to the application. Let me open the HR system. So if you see here, created is available. Okay, then ID is available, ID is available, and modified is available, right? So that hyphen clean command has removed that all the things, okay, which is not required. Now, when you move this particular all the application in next environment, you can just go, you can open this Sailpoint in that environment, go to this setting, okay, go to this setting, global setting, and import from a file, and you can go and you can choose that particular file, okay, wherever it is in the sandbox. Okay, go to that bin folder and select that. So it will import all this particular files, sorry, for particular application. Also you can just run the command import here in this file name, okay, application.xml file name. So it will go and it will import it. I don't want to import because I already have a application available. Okay, so that we can do it, so using the import command. Now let's say this will give me all the application, but I want only the Navision application to be imported in next environment. I want to export only that one. So how we can do that? So we can check out one of the particular application. Okay, we can give the application here, means which application we need to export is PAM application. Okay, so we need to give the name here and where in which file we need to export. So this is my file name and last clean. Now you know, right, to remove the ID and all. So we can go and we can write this command. Okay, so sorry, PAM is not there, so let me just write the command checkout application, then application name is Navision. Okay, where I need to export, so I am saying my file name should be Navision hyphen application dot xml. Okay, and then I want a clean. I don't want to write clean. Okay, so what exactly happened we will see. Let me just run it. So once you run, go back to again bin folder. One more XML file is generated, Navision application. Edit this, you will see this Navision application. So if you see application with the name called Navision available, and only one application is exported. You see, this is only one application. Okay, Navision and Navision. So the application tag is over. Now, as I did not do a clean here, so you can see the ID available, modified available, create is available also. Okay, the same thing will be there. So definitely means to import a new environment, we require that hyphen clean. Even this ID is also there, created ID and modified. Okay, this is also there, created ID and modified is also there somewhere. Okay, so when you see the another one which I exported with the clean command, okay, let's just see that particular Navision application. So this is my Navision. So here if you can see there is no created ID available. Even at last you can you can go to at last here and you can see it. Okay, so application scorecard is blank because there is ID and created and modified only, and similarly it is available here and here. Okay, so same thing will be there. So this is import PAM. Now these are some different commands and rules and tasks, okay, that we can run it also. So list rule, you know now. Rule and then rule name. It will go and it will run the rule. Oh man, I deleted that particular rule. Otherwise, I would have shown you. So basically, if you write a command called rule and whatever the rule name is there, and once you enter, it will go and it will run the particular command. Okay. So whatever output will be there, we can go and we can get that particular output. Okay, on the console itself. Similarly, task. Okay, so if you write a list task definition, it will give you all the task definition which is available, and then task. Okay, so whatever the list of tasks scheduled, it will be there. Let me just go and run the task. So it will give you this particular task. Okay, so these three and remaining three, six tasks are scheduled on this particular time. The next execution will be on this time. Okay, so you can see that here. Now you know in task where exactly the schedules are available. So you can say six tasks are there, and next execution will be this. So we can also fetch that using this particular thing. Okay, and last, if I want to run any task, I can go and I can run the task with the task definition name. Okay, so if you want to check, let me just open the refresh task. I will run this task. Okay, I'm just copy pasting the name of a refresh identity queue. Let me just copy it. I can go and I can run the command. This is even not required. Okay, means I did not run it this particular thing. I can directly go in UI and I can check it. So this particular task is run automatically. Okay, and whatever the things should be there, it will be done. Let me just go to the task result. If you see 841, it has run. I have run through the UI. Sorry, I have run through the console, and the task result will be available here. Okay, so we can run the task, we can run the rule, we can get the rule definition, everything here through this particular task. Okay, and then I can write the about. So it will give me the about one, what is a Sailpoint version, Sailpoint system version, schema version, and so forth. So all will be available here with the about. Okay, and source means, you know, now source is something. If I want to execute some of the command file, okay, which is written in a file, I can go source and I can give the file name, so it will automatically run the command. Okay, so that we can do it. So this is about the particular console. Okay, now last is, you know, last is debug page. Okay, inside the debug page, let's say first let me go with the settings one. Okay, in the settings you can see this many fields are available. So if I go to the about, whatever we done the about, it will be appeared here. Okay, in the UI format, and you can see the details. Okay, this is my version, this is a fix, I did not apply any fix version, and so forth. So we can see all the details will be available here. Okay, username is Milene, and then what is a user home drive, and so forth. We can see it here in about page. Okay, then objects. So when you click on object, you will see the debug page, actual debug page. You can sort the object which we did, you can filter out the object, and you can also run the object. Okay, so that we can see later, maybe means once this is completed. Memory means this is about the memory usage. Okay, how much memory is free, total memory is this, and maximum memory for the Sailpoint means JVM memory. Okay, so that is this. If you want to clean the garbage connector, you can run this. Okay, so it will increase the space, 92 MB, previously it's 32 something, and you can run the finalizer here. Okay, so this is just for a troubleshooting. We are not much using this. Okay, and then cache, so different cache is there, so you can reset the cache. Okay, you can reset the manage attribute cache, so whatever the caches are there, you can reset it, or you can load the new attribute cache. With that you can do it. So we can come here and we can click this button, so that it will also remove the cache, and it will have a more memory space available comparatively. Okay, beans is currently what are the different beans are available. Okay, in Sailpoint, and those beans we can see it here. So this I never use even. Okay, but definitely if you want to come and if you want to see is that what are the different beans available, you can come here and you can see. So these are the different kind of beans available, and for which one it is this, we can also see it. Okay, so this is about the beans and all. Okay, then you can read it out, okay, if you want, but I never use this. So let's say for debug, they have this debug bean. Okay, for this is a bean. For help, this is a bean. So something. So they have created a beans, and once it is imported and once you have installed this beans with this particular ID will be created in this particular my system. Okay, so those things are there. Now after beans we have a thread. So how many threads are running at currently? and where exactly the status it is, right? So reference handler. So currently Java wait state is there, and 10 is a priority, means priority. This is a priority number, and the state is waiting. Okay. Similarly, finalizer, which I have run, maybe run finalizer. So priority is 8. So first they need to complete in this priority, and then it will complete the last one. Okay. So 8 priority and in waiting state. So you can see the different threads available for different purpose. Okay. And which are the current active state. Okay. And current waiting state or runnable state, something. Okay. You can see, and you can see this. So if you have more number of thread which is blocking your Sailpoint, it is not properly establishing the connection and so on and so forth. Okay, you can just go and you can just see it. What are the different threads available here? Okay, and then call timing. So call timing is, currently we have used get and close connection in the system, right, to the database. So get and close connection. So get connection hits 185 time. Okay, maximum millisecond is 10 for one particular get connection. Total is 1368, and average time is 1 millisecond. Okay, so this is some static here. You can go and you can see the static. Okay, how many time this method has been hit, how many time this particular connection has been hit. Okay, you can see it here. And if you say no, let me just start with the refresh for S1, you can also reset your meters so that you will get a next one. Logging, I already told you to reload the logging file. We can click on this reload, it will log. Okay, and database. So definitely the database classes, how much time it is connecting, initial size, and so on and so forth. It will be appeared here. Okay, so we have two type of databases. One is identity IQ, and now the one is identity IQ plugin database, right? I already shown you during this. So what is the current status? It will means it shows here. Last is connection. Connection is something which currently thread is connecting to somewhere. Okay, so you can see this particular internal context is current particular connection. Okay, database connection which is hitting this thing, initialize get connection. So this is activated currently. Okay, so in backend it is running, but this all half of this I did not even use anywhere. I just gone through it, but yeah, definitely if you want, you can go and you can use it. Okay, and last, the debug one. Okay, let's say if I want to see where exactly my code is failing, right, in a rule somewhere it is failing, I can go, I can write a rule, I can open the rule, I can analyze the rule. Let's say this particular rule is failing, I can go analyze the rule. Okay, if I want to change, I can go and I can change it. Okay, similarly I can run a standalone rule here with the run rule functionality. Okay, now along with that we have some objects. Okay, let's say identity request. So what this identity request is, so whatever the request you have raised from end to end, okay, starting from raising a request till you have submitted, you approve the request and provision the request, all the details are here. So where exactly it is giving an error. Okay, so we can check it. See, this particular error was given. If you have remember, I submitted the request and I got this particular error. Okay, at the first time when I submitted the request. So you can see this error here also, that okay, I received this error. Where I am receiving the error, that also we can see. This is my provision project, even we discussed yesterday. So this particular role name, I already told you, right? Bandarati Navision with the role name, commission and tax was already assigned to the user. So it is filtered out. It is saying that I no need to assign this particular role because it's already assigned to the user. Okay, this is also exists. So this is filter out item. What is a master plan? So provisioning plan is this. What exactly it will go and provision, it will be displayed here. Okay, what is a provisioning target and also this is my master plan, or this is a request plan which we have sent. Okay, then provisioning plan, what exactly it has provision in the system. Okay, so this is provision plan, and for this we have a task result ID is this. So if you go in the task result and search with this ID, you will get the task result which is generated for this item. Okay, and last is request item. So what request item is provisioned to the user? So this is a request item, this is a assigned role, and the role name is this. Okay, Navision role for a Sailpoint developer. So this has been assigned. So if you have multiple role in a one request, it will say this is first request item, another request item, and so on and so forth. So we can see such objects here. We can analyze those objects and we can also get the detail from them. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, so debug page I already shown you. Okay, about page also I already shown you. Yeah, so that's it about the debugging. So this many useful details are available in the system. Okay, and that we can use for a debugging. So most of them I already covered during our session. Like log4j I already gone through right now, means basically. Then we have a sysout statement I already shown you. Email logging I already shown you, how we can redirect the email to the file. Even I redirected it, right? Audit I already gone through it, how we can enable the audit and where exactly we can go and we can check the audits. Okay, and this is extending audit. So extending audit means, let's say I want to extend. Yeah, let me just go on through this so you will get a better understanding. So if you go to this particular global setting, and if you see that, let me just go to the audit configuration. You can also create your custom audit. That's what a meaning is. Okay, so if you see here, certification is not there. Okay, so though the certification object is present, but certification is not there. Okay, if I want to add the certification logging here, what I need to do is I need to copy this particular piece of code, let's say certification. Okay, so and this piece of code you need to place it in some object. So what is that object? So this particular page is referred in backend by audit configuration. So if you see audit config, okay, when you click on this audit config, you will get this file. Okay, open it. So if you see, this is a audit action. First is logging, log out, login failure. So this will show you the first page. Okay, let me just open somewhere in new page, global setting, and then audit configuration. And you can see login, log out, login failure. So this is a general action. If I want to add, then if I want any general actions to be added, I need to add under this action, audit action tab. Okay, here somewhere you can add. So what exactly we need to add is display name, whatever we fill. So this is a some key value. Okay, we can directly write, let's say plugin audit. Okay, I want to add, so I can say audit action display name is plugin enabled equal to true. Enabled equal to true means this is enabled, this is not enabled. Okay, so if we want to enable, we can say enable equal to true and the name, technical name where we are going to use in code. Okay, so that we can add. Next is identity attribute. So identity attribute means this one. So whatever the identity attributes are there, it is available here between this tag audit attributes. Okay, so class name is identity and the identity attribute is assigned role, capabilities, control scope. So it will be displayed here. Okay, same thing. And this is a class item, so where I need to go and I need to add a certification. So it will be available here in audit class. Okay, so let's say, let me just go and add the certification after capability. Okay, so I can go, I can paste the syntax here, and this is, so this is my display name. If I don't want to write a display name, then it is fine. So display name will be visible here accordingly. If you wrote a display name in this file, it will say the display name here. If you don't write, then the name will be your display name. Okay, so display name is just for the purpose. Okay, whether we don't want or we want, that is up to us. It will be visible here only. So this is a certification which I have added in this particular class. And last is scheme resource action, which is displayed by this particular tab. So you can go and you can edit it. So let me just save it. Okay, I have saved it. I have added the certification in this tab. So currently you cannot see this certification, right? Let me go and let me just refresh this page. Now let me just go to the class and you can see the certification available. So you can enable any option whatever you fill for the certification. Okay, so in this way we can also extend the audit. Okay, some of the by default audit available that we can enable or disable, and some we can customize as per our need. Okay, so this is all about the audit. Let me just present this slide. So this we have completed, and then syslog. Okay, so syslog I already shown you how we can, so how we can add the incident code. Okay, then this objects export, other useful, and then debug page. Okay, so any question in audit logging or anything? So these are the different places we can go and we can see it. And definitely the reports I already shown you. Okay, where exactly we can go to the reports and we can pull it. So in the intelligence, we have a report. So once we provision it, if any data changes are there, and if I want to see, then I can go and I can run the report from here, any of the report. Let's say I'm working on user activity report, then I can go it here. I can give any name, okay, and I can filter out any identity. Let's say I'm running on this particular identity, then I can say name is an owner I am running. Okay, so you can filter out, you can click on next, and you can see the preview, or you can also get the file. Okay, so this is one of the audit again. Okay, so name I need to give user activity. Okay, so this is also one of the debugging or one of the data analysis. This is we can call it data analysis. So if the report will give you some data, then it will be displayed here and you can analyze the data. So this is just for analysis. Okay, so this is about the reports. Yeah, so that's all from tools for debugging and auditing and troubleshooting. So any question on this or anything?
One one question. I don't know whether if
Yep.
you told me, I forgot. There are
Mm-hmm.
two usernames or two database like in the
Mm-hmm.
MySQL Identity IQ and
Mm-hmm.
Identity IQ plugin.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference again? What
Okay.
my plugin is for?
Okay, so identity IQ basically is all the things which we are doing right now. Okay,
Uh,
so let's say I'm whatever the action is performed here in under the application identity. So these all pages are available under the identity IQ tables, okay, or databases basically. Okay,
uh,
but plugin, if in the first session I told you, right, this is a plugin. So this plugin, basically the configuration of plugin and all will be stored in identity IQ plugin. Okay,
okay.
so this is my one of the plugin I have imported to test it something. So this plugin will be available in identity IQ plugin.
Uh,
Okay,
okay.
so plugin database we are not even touching, means I did not even see the plugin database any time. Okay, we are just using
Okay.
the identity IQ
Okay.
databases.
Okay. Okay. And looks like my IAQ console is another way of representing the MySQL command, right? But
Right, right,
IAQ console is pulling the objects in the XML format
right,
instead
correct,
of rows and columns.
right.
Does uh, does it take the data from the relational database and convert into XML, or it is also store the entire XML in the MySQL?
Yeah, so in the MySQL, what it will do, it will store as a XML format, okay, if the datas are very less, okay. But generally what it will do, so once you save in this UI, okay, if you modify in debug page, any XML you are modifying, it is converting in a CLOV format, okay, CLOV format and storing inside the database.
Mhm.
When you run the command to export it or to get it, so that CLOV will be converted again inside the XML and it will represent here either in a console or in debug page, but in backend it will be stored in a CLOV format,
Okay, so
entire
that's
XML.
when we do two XML command on
Mhm,
any object,
mhm,
so it also gives you the same as
XML. Correct,
a console import.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Looks like it's very powerful,
Yeah,
and
right.
mainly probably it's in the more in the Unix environment.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So I heard the SCIM terminology
Any other
somewhere.
question? Anything?
SCIM,
Mhm,
and not
mhm.
sure. Is that a connector related or a SCI?
No, no. SCIM is something. Let me just go and open the audit configuration. So, if you perform any action related to the SCIM, okay. Let's say SCIM, so this works in SCIM format. So if any action or new user is created something, okay, so that will be visible here. So this is a regular activity which we are doing, okay. If you see, this is a class application, we can create, delete and update, right? So this is a
Uh,
class. But if you see the user, so user is going to create either by raising a request or by loading the data. So this action, okay, this action user is done through the done through the loading the data from some external application and so on and so forth. Okay, so if any of the resource is maintained through the XCIM, then we can enable and disable it. Okay. So
Okay.
for this, it is there. And also the SCIM connector is also available. If you want to do a
That's
connection with the SCIM, we have a connector also.
okay. That's more like a SOAP, RESTful web
Correct.
service.
Web
Okay.
service based. Yeah, web service based one.